It's certainly true that the attitude that I took 20 years ago and that I still hold today, which is that it would be a mistake for Britain to join the European single currency, that marked you out as a eurosceptic or even an anti-European, to use the phrase that people used then. But since then the debate's moved on, and now almost nobody in Britain is arguing for us to join the euro. The argument in Britain is now about, well, should we leave the European Union altogether? And I never thought that was a good idea, and I still don't think that's a good idea. So now, oddly enough, I find myself in the position where I'm classified as a pro-European because I'm saying, well, we should stay in the EU. I think Britain should stay in the European Union for a mix of reasons. I think the economic arguments are still quite strong. It's better to be inside the single market rather than outside. We do most of our trade still with Europe. I think there are also diplomatic and cultural reasons. It makes sense to have a close relationship with our neighbours. And I'm afraid that if we were to divorce from the European Union, divorces in personal life and in political life tend to be quite acrimonious, so it would be a bit of a mess. I think it's far from clear that the euro crisis will lead to a political union. There are a lot of people calling for that and saying that's the only way out now. But actually, if you look at the positions taken by the key countries, France, Germany, they're very, very far from agreeing on the nuts and bolts of a political union. So although they may agree that that's what they want in general, there's very little sign, much less sign actually than in the past, that they're going to get there. Cameron is essentially trapped between a very eurosceptic party, which is being driven even further to the right on Europe by the rise of the United Kingdom Independence Party, which is frank about just wanting to get out of the European Union. So that's the domestic situation, which is driving him to more and more radical demands towards the European Union. And the fact that he, in the here and now, needs to get on with Angela Merkel in Germany, with François Hollande in France, and that the more hardline he is, the harder it's going to be for him. So he's in a very difficult situation. This issue's been poisonous for the Tory party for the last 20 years, and it's only getting worse. It's quite likely that it will turn off voters, the fact that they're so obviously divided, and so damage them at the next general election. And even if they somehow conjure up a victory, the party's absolutely split down the middle. This is a real issue of principle for the hardline eurosceptics who want to get out or want a very radically different relationship with the European Union. But there are Tories who think that would be a disaster. So it's quite possible that this will split the Tory party in half.